Hey, how's it going? My name's Justin, and I'm here to talk about UFC 211 Miocic versus Dos Santos, number two, and a couple things in the news. I'm just a huge fight fan and wanting to make this channel and videos like this for a while. Been kind of worried too because I'm not really much into training and much in technique. I'm learning stuff every day, but I'm just a huge fight fan and obsessed with all the news and all the media and stuff, and listen to podcasts and everyone's take on everything. And I don't know, I'm obsessed with it, and I think I have a few takes that might be interesting to people. Please let me know in the comments or whatever you want to let me know. I'm open to criticism and anything, and if something I don't know, I want to learn about it. So please let me know. I appreciate it. So, um, first thing in the news was a Anderson Silva in the an MMA hour with Ariel Helwani on Monday talked about him wanting an interim title with Yoel Romero, and he was gonna quit the sport if he didn't get it, which is absolutely insane. I don't know where the audacity comes with him being, what is it, 1-3-1 in his last five fights. Um, yeah, with that with that controversial win over his last fight and against Derek Brunson, which insane, and he wants it. He thinks he deserves an interim title after that. But the reason a lot of people think just because he's asking for it, thinking he deserves it, and the latest thing in the news was Dana White. He came out, of course, saying he's not going to grant him this. I can find the actual quote, but we don't need it. He's pretty much said he's not going to give it to him, obviously. But I think the main reason why Silva asked for this, it wasn't because he thinks he deserves the title fight. I don't think it's publicity. I don't think he wants even more money for being a champion and fighting. I think he wants a route to Micheal BIsping. 100%. He wants that big Bisping rematch. He thinks he won that first fight. And this is just a simple 1-2 step. He thinks he sees a route through Yoel Romero, which I don't know why he thinks he can beat him. It'll probably be a closer fight than people think. But I don't know, maybe he just sees that route to fight him, get their interim title, and then the rematch with Micheal BIsping because he thinks he won that first one. I think that's 100% it. And him saying he's going to quit the sport is trying to make the UFC scared into having them make it. But obviously Dana White didn't bite, and I think that's going to be it. I don't know who he's going to be fighting at UFC 212. I think that would be. I don't know who he's going to fight. Freaking Kelvin Gastelum, of course. God, that would have been such an amazing fight. Oh man, that would have been awesome. But of course, Kelvin Gastelum couldn't wait any longer until after the fight was done to smoke. So insane. That's a disappointment. Another thing in the news as well, GSP came out and responded to Micheal BIsping after BIsping came out and said he wanted to fight sooner than later. GSP just said he freed up his schedule, and he says he gave him like, oh, I'll fight you anytime as long as it's after October. Then yeah, it's your call. But oh man, this fight shouldn't have been. I love Micheal BIsping. He's one of my favorite fighters, but if this fight's going to be in October, this fight shouldn't have been announced at all. This is ridiculous. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Micheal BIsping and what he's doing, but this is putting the whole middleweight division just in a lockdown. It's so Robert Whittaker just beat Jacare Souza, which was awesome fight. And like I knew that was going to be a super close fight. That was incredible. I didn't know he'd win in that fashion, but that was incredible. So Robert Whittaker's up there. He says he'll wait, but age is on his side, so that's good. But Luke Rockhold, I think, deserves a rematch against him just for that trilogy, which is no one is talking about. Like, that's the rubber match. I don't know why no one's talking about a rubber match. Like, it was 1-2, and then this third fight, I don't know why it shouldn't be up there. It would be an incredible fight. But there's that, and a bunch of other people in the middleweight class that need to. Yoel Romero, of course, needs to go out there and fight, but having it till October and then fighting there, and then who knows? So the next time an actual middleweight will fight for the championship, it'll be 2018. Like, that's over a year that an actual contender has fought for the title. Like, that's, I don't know, that's just And GSP won't give us a reason why he's waiting till October. Like you said, you were able to fight. Like why wait till October? That's so it's May now. That's 5 months you need from right now. We announced the fight a couple months ago. You need 5 months for what? Like I don't know. But that's just a whole mess that he came out with, and it's gonna happen. And Bisping's gonna wait for it. It doesn't. He just said all that for publicity. He's gonna wait for 100%, and I don't blame him. So, okay, this thing I absolutely love. Demian Maia came out in the media and talked about the champ, Tyron Woodley. And he's talking about, because Tyron Woodley said, criticized Demian Maia for taking the Masvidal fight. And Demian Maia doesn't say much. I didn't think, but he should say more stuff like this. He should come out in the media more and say stuff like this, because this is, I love this, because it's exactly how I think about Tyron Woodley and his antics and why he's not a good champion. Him playing the victim mentality that everyone's racist. I don't want to watch him. No, they just don't want to watch you because you're a prick. You're an asshole. And it doesn't matter the past of what he's gone through. That's fine. All of us have gone through terrible things. All of us have gone through bad stuff, different stories. It doesn't mean that everyone hates you or everyone's racist. No, it's just they don't like you because you have a bad personality. That means you're selfish. You talk about yourself. You talk about your acting career that no one gives a shit about. So, anyways, so Maia came out and on MMA Junkie. This quote from Maia: "He doesn't know why I made this decision. He doesn't know the kind of situation that went down. So it was an unfortunate comment. And also, I see that pattern in him. He never knows if he wants to be a nice guy or an arrogant guy or a guy who promotes himself or a good guy. He can't go in one direction. I think this lack of coherence only hurts him. I think it's why he's a champion who doesn't have a lot of charisma." So that's pretty much a nice way of saying that this guy's fake. Tyron Woodley is, oh god, he's I don't know. It's yeah. Anyways, he pretty much said it that way, which I love. I think he needs to come out more and say what's on his mind. It's not starting drama. It's not. He's just saying it how it is. That this champ. It's why he doesn't have any charisma. It's like he doesn't know what kind of person he wants to be. He's criticizing this person, and he also said, "I think it is the number one contender fight, at least for me. I think if I win with 7 fights in a row, I deserve a shot, but I don't know because everything's been so crazy. We have no way of knowing." Which, I don't know. The rumors that Tyron Woodley is already training for a fight and someone is out there who's fighting him. He said on, I think it was Ariel's? No. Was it Ariel's show? No, it was on UFC Unfiltered. That Tyron Woodley saying he's coming out training for a fight, and he won't tell people who it is, but it's an unbelievable name. People rumoring it's Nick Diaz. People are rumoring it's, I don't know who it is, GSP apparently. I'm like, no. Gosh, I don't know. If it's Nick Diaz, that would be a travesty, a complete travesty. But I don't know. Maybe it's someone even crazier. Who knows? But he's already training for a fight, so that just screws Demian Maia out even more. And I hope Tyron Woodley I hope he stops being the champion because he's a terrible champion. But anyways, so that's pretty much a lot of the news that came out soon, aside from Conor McGregor and Mayweather coming out and saying like, oh, anyone can win. It's a fight. You know what I mean? Him trying to praise up Conor McGregor. That's just trying to sell the fight. I don't know why he's trying to sell the fight like that. That's ridiculous. It's. And anyways, okay. So, going back to UFC 211 with Miocic versus Dos Santos. This is an awesome card, like from top to bottom, 100%. Some really, really good fights on here. The main card is completely stacked. Even the FX prelims are incredible. So, I'm not going to go down the whole thing. They're all incredible fights. I mean, I'm a huge fan, but some honorable mentions would be Jessica Aguilar versus Courtney Casey. That's on the UFC Fight Pass early prelims. And Jessica Aguilar is ranked number 12, which, I don't know, it's good, but she seems still so raw in my opinion. And Courtney Casey is just like big, strong, really explosive, heavy hands. I think she goes out there and stops her. So that's honorable mention. Also, Jotko versus Branch. Looks like Branch is what I think is a last room replacement. I don't know, but Krzysztof Jotko is just he's on a tear right now. I think he's let me see. Yeah, he's won his last 5 fights. His last one against Talis Laites was an incredible fight. So I think he goes out there and smokes David Branch. And then Chaz Skelly versus Knight. Chaz Skelly he's on a tear too. I think won his last 6 out of 7 fights. Well, I mean, he's 6 and 2 in the UFC. Has only lost to Darren Elkins and Mirsad Bektic, which is Darren Elkins you can never count out, and Mirsad Bektic in his premiere. Yeah, yeah. Chaz Kelly is an incredible wrestler, really really good. And Jason Knight hasn't fought any kind of wrestlers or any high level wrestlers. He's incredible. He's really fast and he's really really good at transitions and catching guillotines or catching any kind of submission. But I think Chaz Kelly is going to fight a smart fight and wrestle him down. So that brings us to fights that I more know about. So, in the FX prelims main card, main fight is Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Porrier. So, Eddie Alvarez, we know he's an incredible fighter. Just lost to Conor McGregor, unfortunately. Just came out there and didn't look like himself. He even said it himself. Circled the wrong way, did everything wrong. He did everything he could to lose that fight, which is what Conor McGregor does to people. He gets in your head. He's brings himself bigger than life. You think you're fighting a godlike figure out there. he turns people into that. He didn't do that to Nate Diaz, but he did that to pretty much everyone else he fought. And Eddie Alvarez fell to that. Yeah, you didn't think he could, but he did that as well. But I think a lot of it could be the way he was talking about training, him going out and sparring multiple times over and over and over, saying he did like hundreds of rounds of sparring. I mean, that might be old school, might make you tough. I don't know training personally, so this is no disrespect to him, an incredible fighter, but I think that'll make you that'll tear down your body and make you mentally weak after a certain point, knowing that your chin is just not there anymore, getting hit that much in sparring. And Dustin Poirier, people say that he's chinny and stuff, but after moving up to 155, I mean, he only got knocked out to Michael Johnson, who's incredibly fast with his hands, incredibly fast, and the only ones that knock you out are the ones you don't see. So he's only I don't think he's chinny just because he got knocked out by a fast punch. I think it was a right hook or left hook that Michael Johnson landed on him that he didn't see, and then Conor McGregor hit him behind the ear, which you can't see anything behind your ear, so of course he can't see that. So I don't know, people don't give Dustin Poirier enough respect, I think, especially after the move up to 155, and looked incredible against the Jim Miller fight. That was incredible. So Eddie Alvarez coming off a loss, Dustin Poirier coming off a really nice win against Jim Miller. So I think Dustin Poirier has the momentum here. Eddie Alvarez is good, but he's been a lot of fights. I know Dustin Poirier has too, but I don't know. It's gonna be a really really close fight. It's a coin toss, but I think I give the speed and the takedown defense for Dustin Poirier. I think I give him probably a unanimous or split decision. So then the next fight, I have Henry Cejudo versus Sergio Pettis, the first fight on the main card. Man, these fights are incredible. So Henry Cejudo, a huge war against Joseph Benavidez. I don't know if call it a war. It's just a really, really good tactical fight. That fight should have been 5 rounds. No, it wasn't 5 rounds. That fight should have been 5 rounds. That would have been incredible. But I thought he won that fight. He was tagging Benavidez on the feet. Yeah, Benavidez got in there, cut some angles, but Henry Cejudo, I think just textbook. His stand-up looked incredible in that fight compared to especially his Demetrius Johnson fight. He's improved a lot since then. And then Sergio Pettis, yeah, he's really, really good. Just a couple performances. I think it's just his age. He's just really, really young and sometimes gets in there and doesn't show up to his potential. Um, Really, really fast, really dynamic. I mean, he's probably one of the most well-rounded fighters in the flyweight division compared to Mighty Mouse. So, and this fight is just going to compare to if Sergio Pettis can, keep it on the feet and tag Henry Cejudo. This is going to be a really, really good fight. Depends how Henry Cejudo makes the cut too, because that's a huge cut. He always makes it 125. He always goes down there. He always fights incredible, but well, actually, I shouldn't say that. He doesn't always fight incredible. And like the only fight he's really very very impressed was the last Benavidez fight. Everything before that was kind of it was good. I mean, he won everything going to Mighty Mouse, but it was kind of I don't know. I think people wanted more. So it depends how this cut is, and depends how Henry Cejudo shows up, and depends how Sergio shows up. Um, so what are the let's see the odds for this fight. So Henry Cejudo, Sergio Pettis. Oh wow, what? Henry Cejudo is a 440 favorite. Wow. Just for that, I would put money on Sergio Pettis. People, that's incredible. Yeah. If you want to put money down, I would recommend Sergio Pettis. This is a close fight. This should be Henry Cejudo should be just a 200 on like favorite max, I think, because he doesn't always show up. Yeah, he looked incredible in that fight, but it depends his weight cut, and I don't know. Sergio Pettis is super explosive and is really, really good on feet, really good technique, really fast, really young too. So I don't know. I think I take Henry Cejudo in the fight with a close decision, but oh man, that's super, super close. So it's a lot closer than that. But okay, so I have Henry Cejudo by decision in that, and then Frankie Edgar versus Yair Rodriguez. Woo, Yair, yikes. All right, that was silly, but. Okay, so Frankie Edgar, Yair Rodriguez, man, Yair, he looked impressive in that BJ Penn fight. Yeah, BJ Penn's lackluster, but just taking him out of it is just, yeah, he looked, God, he's so quick and so dynamic, and his gas tank is insane. You've never seen a gas tank like that, like against, dang, what is his name? And that 5 round fight he did in altitude, he lasted the whole time against Bruce Leroy. He lasted the whole 5 rounds, throwing all kind of dynamic kicks. I don't know the stats on it, but it was upwards of hundreds and hundreds of punches he landed the whole 5 rounds in altitude, and barely slowed down in the 5th round of that fight. I know that gas tank says a lot, and I know. I think it's easy as Yair Rodriguez. Yeah, Frankie Edgar's really good and really slick, and as textbook as you can get for an outfighter. Just going out, taking the punch, getting the angle, and systematically taking Yair and just taking his opponent down. Either taking him down or finding out his angles and where he has to go, and reading his opponent and adjusting throughout the fight. But that makes Frankie Edgar an incredible 5 round fighter, but this fight's 3 rounds, and I don't know if there's going to be enough time for Frankie Edgar to adjust. To adjust throughout the whole fight. And Yair Rodriguez is just so explosive and so fast. I think Yair catches him in the 2nd round if Frankie Edgar kind of slows down. He's so old. He's been fighting so many fights, and he slows down. And Yair Rodriguez, just compare them together. Yeah, Frankie looks so good, but Frankie hasn't fought this fast of a guy, and I think Yair catches him in the 2nd round, and either TKOs him, or stops him. I think he stops him in the 2nd round. So Yair by TKO. Then the next fight. It's a terrible picture by Jorge. Anyways, sorry. Demian Maia versus Jorge Masvidal. Man, this fight's incredible. Demian Maia, we all know, one of the best jiu-jitsu fighters probably in the entire UFC, despite weight class. His fought as high as 205. Um, so, yeah, he's just incredible textbook, 100% jiu-jitsu. And his wrestling is incredible now. He goes for single legs, double legs, goes for anything he wants. But, yeah, but he leaves himself open. I was listening to this YouTuber. Yeah, and he makes a very good point that I didn't know. His name's Brandon K. You can follow him on YouTube. And I was listening to his analysis of it, and yeah, and I didn't notice that, but Demian Maia does leave himself open a lot because he's so comfortable with his wrestling and just wants to get to the ground so often that he goes in there for blank takedowns without anything to disguise it, and just goes in for the takedown. And Jorge Masvidal is slick on his feet, completely slick. No one makes Cowboy look like that. No one makes Cowboy look like that. And I think it's as simple as Demian Maia is going to try to take him down, and Jorge Masvidal is going to keep it standing and take down defense, push his head down, and just use angles. And, oh man, this is... I don't say this looking good for Demian Maia. I mean, I could be completely wrong, but he might be able to take him down, but Masvidal does not get scared out there. He's never going to give up on the fight, which is what... Maia likes to break people. That's his MO, is just to wear him down and take you down and just even punch you and mix everything together to wear you down and to make you break. Kind of like Danny Cormier a little bit. Maybe a little more, obviously, not with those throws and those slams, but he'll break someone, just wear you down in more of a constricting manner than Daniel Cormier, but very similar. But Jorge Masvidal does not go with that. He's not going to break because of that. And I'm trying to find the odds here. There it is. Yeah, Masvidal is barely a favorite. I think that's right. So yeah, I think Jorge Masvidal wins. Yeah, probably by decisions, 3-round fight. So yeah, he probably wins by decision. Okay, and co-main event: Joanna Jedrezejczyk versus Jessica Andrade. Man, Andrade has been a tear since he's gone down to 115, huh? Man, she's been... she looks like a little, I mean, the other guys are obviously little too, but, John Lineker. She looks like a more pressure-oriented, even, I would say, a little more dynamic version of John Lineker. Goes out there and just bull rushes you until you break, until you're down, man, she's so strong for the division. Yeah, she's short, but the thing is, Joanna, JJ has been seen to get hit. She gets hit on the chin, even by Claudia. Like, it's Claudia is not even... I mean, she's really... Obviously, she's a top fighter, but she's not known to punch people. She's known for her jiu-jitsu. So, she even got hit by her. She's gotten hit by Kovacevic a little bit. And in that Letourneau fight, she got hit a little bit too. Yeah, just every fight she seems to get a little bit. Of course, she's incredible, and she's probably one of the best strikers, obviously, of any of the women, but even in the whole entire UFC, men or women, she's probably one of the most decorated strikers in there. And, man, yeah. So if Jessica takes her down, I think Jessica might be able to wear her out, but Joanna Jedrezejczyk is so fast, so good. And what are the odds of this fight? Joanna Jedrezejczyk, yeah, she's a favorite. Man, this is gonna be a good fight, but shoot, I don't know. I think it's more of a coin toss than anything, because I don't know how she's gonna get Andrade off of her. Yeah. I'll say Jessica Andrade. I say she wins by decision by taking her down, bull rushing her, putting her against the fence, and just making an ugly fight. Yeah, I think Andrade wins with an upset. I think that's what happens. That's what I see. It's a feel in my gut. Then finally, main event: Stipe Miocic versus Junior Dos Santos. Cigano. So, Stipe, yeah, I mean, what more can you say about him? Just probably one of the best athletes in the heavyweight division. Just incredible athlete, really, really good, and firefighter, which is, thank you for your service. And yeah. He's incredible. Really good athlete. Really, really good at ankles. Really good at pushing forward, and really good even on his back foot. That's probably his most impressive, is going on his back foot and hitting that perfect punch even while he's going back, and still having the power of a monster even on his back foot. I mean, you saw against that. God, I always forget his name. Against his well, anyways, just any of his fights. God, it's so hard remembering people's names. I always criticize people for forgetting people's names, but while we're recording, it's the hardest to remember people's names. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so his last couple fights, he's looked incredible. Knockout power, taking people down, but he's gotten hit a little bit too. And the last fight with Stipe and Junior was an all-out war. That was an incredible fight. But I think Stipe has improved quite significantly compared to Junior, which, I mean, yeah, he looked good against Jesus, man. Against oh my goodness. Wow, this is ridiculous. What the heck? Okay, well, yeah, Junior Santos looked incredible in his last fight against Ben Rothwell. I didn't even find it here, I just remembered. Against Ben Rothwell. He looked really, really good against it, really fast, but anyone can make Ben Rothwell look like that, especially if you're a smaller, faster fighter. I think you can make Ben Rothwell look that way. So I don't know, he might have just looked really good just because of the matchup. It might have made him look better than he actually is. But I think Stipe wins a clean decision here, or even, knocks him down and knocks him out in the third or fourth round, I think. Yeah, I think he knocks him down and finishes him. I think Stipe wins. He's a better wrestler too, and can mix it up, and yeah. So those are the fights, 211, and that's incredible. So yeah. Any criticisms or any kind of questions or anything you want to let me know? I don't do this too often. I mean, this is my first video, so please let me know in the comments how you think I did. Anything else you want me to cover or something like that. I'm going to try to do these videos a little more often, probably a couple times a week. I'll try to figure out something, but yeah, this fight's incredible. So thank you for listening to me and my lameness. And yeah, have a good one.